Here there are 2, 3, and 4-bedroom flats, each fully equipped with hot water, baths, and a small kitchen scullery where many important household duties can be performed expeditiously and easily. There is plenty of light everywhere, and the decoration has been carried out in bright colors, pleasant contrast to the drabness of the insanitary properties from which the present tenants have moved. Each flat is provided with a gas washing boiler, facilities for washing clothes. And at Myrtle Gardens, tenants can take their washing to a specially gas-heated drying room and call for it in half an hour, ready for ironing. What a boon on a wet day. Children of all ages are well provided for. At Myrtle Gardens, there are over 4 acres of open space. Many a happy hour is spent in the playground. Where these children used to live, the only open space was the road, and you can imagine the anxiety of parents with the dangers of present-day traffic. These playgrounds are valuable amenities to keep fit movement in practice. This aerial view gives an excellent idea of the attractive layout of these flats. You have seen how energetically the Housing Committee is discharging its responsibility for housing the workers of the city.
Welcome back to the Misty Mushroom. Although the last couple of months have been a little turbulent and I took a hiatus of making videos, now that we're into the second week of May, I figured I'd go ahead and add a couple of updates on here so that everybody knew what was going on. So as you can tell, our coop out back got a little bit expanded upon. On March 25th, I obtained 7 Sapphire Gem chickens, and on April 9th, a Plymouth Rock chick from a friend that could no longer house it. So we decided to get chickens as a way to increase our egg and meat production on the farm. We're happy keeping ducks, but both of us agree that we like hard-boiled chicken eggs a little bit better. And we like to use duck eggs exclusively for cooking and also for omelets. The eggs themselves have a lot of great qualities to them on either end of the spectrum. But we did want to add a little bit more to our farm and be able to supplement in ways that would make it more effective for us. We had the misfortune recently of losing 3 of our ducks to a predator, either a coyote or a fox. And unfortunately, that was 2 of our egg-laying hens and 1 male, leading us to have a little bit of odd numbers with more drakes to females. This can be turbulent time in the spring, so I eagerly looked online for anybody that might have adult or nearly adult ducks that they were looking to rehome. Thankfully, I found somebody on Marketplace that needed to rehome 3 cayugas and 2 Peking ducks, which I gladly added to the flock, and we've had no issues since they've been incorporated. They're almost adults, and we will see about the ratio after they mature completely. For 2021, I wanted to start 3 different mushroom cultures that were not time intensive. The first culture I'm going to talk about is a morel one that I had started over a year ago. Using coffee grounds as the substrate, I had utilized an old morel and had chopped it up along with the spores into the substrate. The culture did grow substantially throughout the jar. It had established quite a bit of mycelium without any sign of fungus growth. With no mold, I had let that culture continue, and then I decided to get that in the ground this year. Now, morels are a very, very difficult mushroom to cultivate, and it's likely that I won't be successful. However, I wanted to give it a shot and see what I could do with what I had available to me. So I took the finalized culture and I added it with some water and molasses. And I spread that around on the property in various areas underneath natural mulch, preferably putting it underneath an oak tree. I did scatter some around in other areas, and this was combined with some wood ash and then covered up with the mulch. I don't expect anything from this year, but I would hope that if I do see anything, it might be next year or even years down the line. But it is a project that I will continue to work on and continue to try to cultivate on the property. The second type of mushroom I was able to begin cultivation of was one that I had purchased from North Spore Company. It came in a sawdust starter, and that was Winecap mushrooms. I had wanted to include these in the garden specifically for their purpose in controlling negative nematodes in the garden. I wanted to try these out with my tomato plot to see if it helped to improve the productivity of my tomato plants and if it also allowed me to continually plant in that same plot for numerous years. So, the way that that gets laid down is that the bed was given some nice earth, the substrate was scattered within. On top of that, I put down softwood mulch that is undyed and untreated. On top of that, straw, and the entire thing was watered. Now, even today, that mycelium is already starting to go throughout that area. And once I get the tomatoes in, I'm hoping to see fruit-bearing mushrooms somewhere at least in a month or two. So that brings me to spring planting here on the homestead. Many suggest not to plant until after Mother's Day. However, even around Mother's Day this year, we found that a couple of evenings got down in the freezing temperatures. So it's not a diehard standard in order to plant by. It's important to check the weather temperatures that you will be experiencing because Ohio does fluctuate back and forth. So far, I've planted lettuce, carrots, beets, dill, tomatoes, kale, cilantro, strawberries, mustard, celery, runner beans, black beans, winter squash, acorn squash, and also green beans. Besides getting the vegetables in the ground, I had wanted to start two projects in which I would start reclaiming the grass in the backyard and instilling instead permaculture and pollinator areas that would help to improve the value and the quality of the life here that we have. For the back area, which will be turned into more of a woodland type space, underneath the oak tree, I did manage to plant some ramps. I've planted 3 elders, a redbud tree, a couple of ostrich ferns, a high bush cranberry, and several perennials. This area will continue to get work done on it as the area becomes more shaded and more things will get introduced, including hopefully a flame azalea, pawpaw trees, blueberry bushes, and other fruit-bearing bushes. As we would like to get honeybees in the future, it was crucial that I plant a lot more perennial flowers on property. So at our back window, I started this little plot where I put in spice bush, Joe Pye weed, cardinal flowers, butterfly plants, bee balm, and many others that will help to provide honeybees and butterflies and even hummingbirds with a food source. Many other areas will be made across the land so that way we can provide for everybody. The biggest addition to our property is the fact that on April 27th, our son William Henry was born. So now, along with a 1-year-old daughter, I now have a newborn son that certainly preoccupies most of my time. I'll update videos when I can, but keep an eye on our Instagram and also on the Facebook Misty Mushroom pages to check out any new things that are going on. Pictures are often a lot easier to put out there than videos, but I'll try to get a few videos here and there regarding certain things that I want to make happen. As always, thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe the videos, and have an awesome day.